Okay.
All right, I'd like to open up our city council meeting for Monday, June 3rd, 2024. Let's please stand for the pledge of allegiance and remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us prepare ourselves, however you may see fit. Most gracious and heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you this day to say thank you, oh Father God. We thank you for everything you do for us, oh Lord. We thank you for our health. We thank you for our safety, oh Lord. We thank you for bringing those that are wish to come out for the city council and bringing them here safely. We ask that you make sure that they return home safely and that when they return home, things will be as peaceful and normal as they left it, oh Lord. As we move on to the city council meeting, Lord, we ask we continue to do things decent and in order. We ask this in your darling son Jesus' name and for his sake. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Roll call.
Alderman Jackson.
Present.
Alderman Coleman. Alderman Evans.
Here.
Alderman Allen.
Here.
Alderman Smith. Alderman Murphy. Present. Alderman January. Present.
Let the record show that Alderman Coleman did call and said that he was sick and unable to attend the meeting today. All right, moving on. Omnibus vote agenda.
Mayor Rockingham,
Alderman Allen.
make a motion that we approve the omnibus vote agenda from 5-1 through 5-8 as
Second.
presented. Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Allen, second by Alderman Evans, that the omnibus vote agenda be passed as presented. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call. Yep, take your
Let
time.
me line it for a second. Okay. Alderman Jackson.
Aye.
Alderman Coleman. Alderman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Smith.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman January.
Motion carried. Public comment.
Armesia Hawthorne.
Good evening, Mayor Rockingham and City Council. How you guys doing?
Good.
Just want to come before you and just want to thank you guys for just an awesome weekend that we've had, attending the meeting from First Ward. But I also want to come before you guys because, you know, North Chicago is moving forward with so much momentum, to read a famous quote from one of our previous presidents, just to build some cheer and edify everybody. And it reads, and it's from President Obama, our former president. It reads, "If the world's going to get better, it's going to be up to you. With everything suddenly feeling like it's up for grabs, this is your time to seize the initiative. Nobody can tell you anymore that you should be waiting your turn. Nobody can tell you anymore this is how it has always been done. More than ever, this is your moment." And I just feel like this was just so awesome for North Chicago because it is our time. It is our moment for our great mayor, for our great aldermen, and also for our great people. We're just great and we're moving with momentum. So it is our moment, guys. So thank you. I just want to say that to you guys. Keep doing what you're doing and we moving forward.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And you're correct. We're gonna continue to move forward. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes. Isidore Ramirez.
First of all, I want to thank you for making the time for all of us to speak in front of you about concern about property tax going up dramatically. I moved to North Chicago like 5 years ago, and I believe this is a great city. Before moving to North Chicago, I was living in Waukegan, which is a great city too. So when I moved to North Chicago, property tax in my property, it was approximately like $3,000. And over the years, they've been increasing, I will say like 2, 4, 5%. But this time, it went up $1,800.
Tell me about it.
$1,800 in just one time. I have other properties in Waukegan, and they usually go up to like $200, $300. But when I saw my property bill this year with $1,800 increase, I was really concerned. I was really concerned to the point, and I told myself, if we're gonna keep doing these increases, we're gonna get to the point and we have to sell our properties. And not only that, but the properties, when people see what's the property tax on our properties, nobody wants to buy our property because property taxes are extremely high. And I believe we need to do something about it, because for regular homeowner who has a job in factory or other places where they get like 3% increase in their paycheck every year, there is no way they can come up with this amount of money extra to pay the property tax. And I'm here to ask you and see what can be done for the next few years. And as I spoke to my son, he said there are a lot of other expenses, but I think we need to do something about it to kind of control those kind of increases. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Did you want to?
Yeah, I want to say, and Mayor, and I agree with him. I know we didn't do our taxes that high, but, I got a lot of complaints. I got a lot of calls. They said it was coming, but they didn't show up today. No one, just Mayor showed up, but it's good to hear that. I know you say yours went up. I know, Treasurer White, I mean, $2,000, they went like that every year. We can't afford to do that. We can't. So we have to look at this a little different. I know the school is raising tax, but I'm just saying, but we got to look at it a little different, try to make it feasible for these taxpayers, seniors in here. Thank you.
I want our comptroller to report too. Yeah. Well, treasurer, and then
Yeah, sure. So the majority of the increases for property taxes this year were not because of the tax rate going up.
Yeah.
It's your assessment that went up.
Right.
Shields Township, which is where I live, we saw, I think I saw like a 40% or 50% increase in your
Yeah.
value. So that means you're gonna be paying a third of that extra this year.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, for the next 2 years on top of that, you're gonna see that other 2/3 to go on your property tax bill. It impacts all of us, including like my mom, who's a senior citizen that's on a fixed income, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say, it was due to the reassessment in
Yeah.
Shields Township, so we saw a lot of increases over, unfortunately, the properties that are residing within that township.
And I do believe Waukegan Town will do their assessment in 2 years.
Yeah, so it's generally reassessed every 4 years.
3 or 4 years,
Yeah. So unfortunately, Shields Township, it was their year for reassessment.
So once Waukegan does do theirs, the Shields Township side, we should see less of an increase, offsetting of it, and it'll be shifted back onto their side as well.
Yes,
But the percentage that the city is taxing.
correct. The city,
properties is actually
correct.
Flat.
That's correct.
yes.
So the city itself did not assess any additional taxes. It's just the reassessment as well as the value of the homes. Yes.
Mhm. So, Alderman Smith and then Alderman January.
I just want to say to you as well, what you can do, you can challenge
Mhm.
the increase.
Yeah.
It takes a little work. You might need to get some help doing it, but you can challenge it. I agree with you. I have challenged it in the past and I won. So that's just some information. You can go to the assessor's office downtown and get the information and they'll tell you what to do, but it can be challenged and it can be changed.
Yes.
Actually, I have done it. And usually what they, as the previous year, the year when we Hamilton, they kind of hold a little bit in the following year.
They come up and,
Right.
and add it
Yeah.
back on. Yeah.
You have to appeal, yeah, you can, and you can actually appeal
Yeah.
every single year if you want.
Yeah.
So it's
Every-
unfortunate,
Yeah.
but you're right. I mean, it's, you know, the township, and even with mine, I think mine went up 2,500.
9123.
Yeah, so
So I showed
it was,
you.
yeah. When I seen it, I asked my wife, I said, whoa, what did we pay last year? I know it. It was a hard hit, so,
It was.
yes, Alderman January.
Thank you, Alderman, for mentioning that, to go down to the Lake County assessors and to challenge it, but you need to challenge every year.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just do every couple of years.
Yes.
When you see it like really increase, go every year and challenge it so that you can see and maintain possibly a little bit of a lower rate. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a fantastic lower rate, but at least lower.
Something.
The other thing that I want our citizens to keep in mind is, we have at least 11 taxing bodies in North Chicago, at least 11. So with the city, we kept our taxes, I think the past
4 years.
4 years.
4 years has been
I
the
think it's
same.
I think it's 4 fiscal
Yeah.
years.
that we have kept it flat.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, but I do know that our other taxing bodies did not.
They did, yeah.
They went up and up and up, so, keep in mind and watch that as well, okay? So just wanted to remind
Appreciate
us
it.
of that.
Thank you. Come on up. Come on up. I'm gonna let this go this time, but now you know. Sign the,
So,
and please give me state your name.
Shalmadine Murray.
Okay.
So the gentleman pretty much covered what I wanted to say, but also I had a comment. Can we get a Aldi, please?
What?
An Aldi? Because we have no grocery store, just all these liquor stores and all these slot machines in all these corners of every gas station. All slot machines, every gas station. Can we please get an Aldi, not a Jewel, because they're pricey. And I know there's an Aldi in Fountain Square, but that's Waukegan. Can now Chicago get an Aldi? Thank you, an Aldi.
Aldi's. We got it. We
A
got it.
grocery store, but no market. We want an Aldi. That's, okay,
You know,
that's all I have to
let
say.
me just state in that, you know, we continue to try to bring in a grocery store into our community. I know that at one point, we even tried to bring Save-A-Lot where the Family Dollar is at. And, you know, we gave them all kind of incentives to come here. We tried to give them a break in water, we were gonna give them tax breaks, and they moved to Waukegan, which they are now closed. And, you know, Aldi's, whatever we, you know, I mean, we'll continue to push for a grocery store. The thing about it is, and we did have one come in, if it comes in, our community has to support it. Bottom line, no questions asked. We can't expect a grocery store to come here, and if you don't support it, expect it to stay. Because if it
Right.
doesn't make it, you know, profit, it's gonna shut its doors down and move on. So
Yeah.
as we continue to bring economic development in, and such as a grocery store, another thing I would love to try to do is to get a pharmacy in here, a Walgreens or a CVS or something. Because, you know, again, those services we should have here in our community. But if we do it, we've got to be able to support it. So
But-
I just,
But that's why I said an Aldi, because no Aldi have ever closed down in Lake County that I know of. They've rebuilt new
the problem
buildings.
with all
and-
these trying to bring it in here now is the fact that it is in Fountain Square.
close.
And they will not, they're gonna look at it as far as demographics,
So they're not
proximity of
competing with each
where
other.
that one's
Yeah,
at.
they're not
Right, but
competing
that's
with
my
us.
thing, cause we're going to the Aldi in Fountain Square and we're going to the Aldi and down in Lewis Avenue. But why we could spend and shop at the Aldi here and keep our dollars here at home. That's what I'm,
I agree,
you know.
totally agree.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll sign.
Yes. Trish, you're good?
Mayor, if I could, while it's
Sure.
signing in, just from Economic Community Development Department, absolutely agree with the sentiments that were just mentioned. We believe that this is a food desert that is a top priority for our department is to pursue grocery options. Just wanted to note that there are two kind of small scale grocers that we're working with right now who are approached the city to talk about locations on 10th Street and Sheridan Road. So we're working with them. They're smaller locations. They're not to the scale of Aldi, but they are options that could hopefully help us bring fresh food to North Chicago.
Okay. Alderman January?
I just want to make a statement. Thank you for looking and trying to continue to bring something into North Chicago that will be some sort of a grocery available to our citizens. However, I do want to correct a statement you made. We are not a food desert. Look that definition up. There are certain miles that you have to have between your border and the next grocery store. And we have too many close within that parameter, so we're not considered a food desert at this point. Thank you.
Okay. And may I say one thing?
Yes, go right ahead.
And while we waiting on a grocery store, we got gas stations, we got dental in North Chicago, we got banks in North Chicago. Question yourself, are we using those? That's what I'm trying to tell our constituents and our seniors, or anybody.
Still options. Here,
You gotta ask yourself, well, I go to Walmart because it's 5 cents cheaper. All right. I'm just saying, I'm letting people know. Thank you. You asked me what I mean, you spoke up, but we try something, and then you go out this thing.
And just to let you know that there are still available grocery stores that are here. They're smaller scales.
Right.
I know Gonzalez is on 10th Street and is it Isaac's on MLK? So, I mean, they're smaller, but still,
Right.
oh, and 14th Street, yes. So,
Yeah, thank you, man.
but yes, we're still continuing to try to bring those services to you. Okay. All right. Okay, anyone else? No? You good? Okay. Okay, going under regular agenda, just to let you know, I'm gonna remove 7-3 through 7-5 at this time. I'll make those appointments at a later date. So, yes.
I'd like to make a motion to remove those from the agenda as you have listed.
It's been moved by Alderman January, second by Alderman Jackson, that 7-3 through 7-5 be removed from the agenda. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, at this time, we'd like to do our public hearing on appropriations ordinance for fiscal year 2025. Wanda, would you like to come forward? Okay, I'd like to make a motion to open our public hearing for appropriations.
So moved.
It's been moved by Alderman Smith, second by Alderman January, that the public hearing be open for appropriations. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Aye.
Alderman Coleman, Alderman Evans,
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Smith,
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman January.
Motion carried. Okay, Tawanda.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. Just coming for you today for our annual appropriation ordinance passage. Lori, I believe you do have the ordinance, even though we don't have it open up, but it's just basically establishing a legal spending limit for the city for fiscal year 2025. That, as you know, it's based off the budget with a 5% increase on it. If anyone has any questions regarding it, I can absolutely answer questions.
Are there any questions regarding the,
And then if you wanted to know the amount, the total amount that's gonna be appropriated is gonna be 76,592,773,000.
573.
573, yes.
Okay.
It's been too much.
It's okay.
okay. Any questions? Being that this is a public hearing. Is there any questions from the audience? And this appropriations, like, Tawanda was saying, it is something we have to do every year. It's based off of our budget, and in most cases, it's usually, like you said, 5% over. It's just, if something was to come up, I guess, basically, that we have to go over that budget, we have a limit that we have to go to, which is a 5%. Anything over that, then we'd have to actually come back for a hearing. So, but it's just how you want to say it, a safeguard so that we can, move forward, so, on our budget. All right. Hearing no other questions, I entertain a motion to close our appropriations ordinance hearing.
So moved.
It's been moved by Alderman Allen, second by Alderman January, that the appropriations hearing be closed. Any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Smith.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman January.
Aye.
Alderman Jackson.
Aye. Motion carried. 7-2, approval of the fiscal year 25 appropriations ordinance, in the amount of 76,592.
Big.
Oh, 76, oh, yeah, I was gonna say, there was an extra comment there. 76,000,000.
Yeah.
592,573.
Yeah, so moved.
It's been moved by Alderman Allen, second by Alderman Smith, that the approval of the appropriations ordinance. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Smith.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman January.
No.
Alderman Jackson.
Aye.
Alderman Evans.
Aye.
Motion carried. City bills,
Mayor Rockingham,
Alderman Allen.
I make a motion, we pay the city bills for $1,382,867. $862,867.99 when funds come available. Second.
Been moved by Alderman Allen, second by Alderman Evans, that the city bills be paid as presented. Are there questions on the bills, Alderman January?
It's not funny, but it is, the way you look at it. Good evening, Tawanda.
Good
How are
evening,
you?
Alderman. How are you?
Good, typical Monday. Just my usual questions. Are there sufficient funds in our, to cover the bill run? And when will the checks be cut and sent?
There are sufficient funds to cover the bill run. The checks will be cut on tomorrow and mailed out on Wednesday.
Okay. And, the water fund amount at, I believe, what would that be, Thursday after business?
Yes.
What is the amount in the water?
Prior to the bills being cut, it's $8,429,060.81.
Okay, and then how much of that is, liquid?
That total amount is liquid, and I can give you the, do you happen to have the unliquid amount?
Yeah, the unliquid amount is $1,233,527.15.
Okay, and you just said the whole amount, 8.4.
Correct.
All liquid.
Correct.
But
And
we
that's
have-
prior to the bills being processed.
I'm
I think you
asking
mean
for
the
the
fund
entire
amount.
fund.
The 8 million
amount.
is the fund amount, right?
No,
It's the
my
entire
amount
fund
only
amount.
includes cash only. It doesn't include your amount.
Okay. So
I'm
where's the
asking
cash?
for the entire fund amount, not just your portion.
Okay, I
When
just
I
gave you
asked
my
for the fund
amount
amount,
and
I
I just
asked for
gave,
a
could
fund
you add the
amount.
two together?
So it would be my amount plus her amount combined, so it'd be just over 9 million or so.
Yeah, it was prior to bills being cut. But keep in mind what date is yours effective today?
This is as of today.
As of
Okay.
This is
today.
today.
So that was the last bill, that was because that comes, well, you checked the amount today.
Yeah, this is what's currently in the account. I'm
Okay.
getting it right now live.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Smith.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman January.
No.
Alderman Jackson. Alderman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Motion carried. Miscellaneous business. Anything under miscellaneous?
Mayor Rockingham.
Alderman Evans.
On Saturday, June 8th, the Third Ward is having its annual picture day, and we're inviting all to come out at 12 o'clock here in front of the City Hall. We're gonna be taking various pictures and everything, so I wanna welcome everybody to come out and share the pictures and, at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock this Saturday, June 8th. If you have time, come out and enjoy yourselves. We will have refreshments and food will be served there, so come out for an hour or two. Also, on June 29th, that's our rescheduled date for the yard sale that we were gonna have. We're gonna have one on 18th and Sheridan. On June 29th, we're gonna start at 8 o'clock, so please come out and enjoy that. For those that are here, please, we would like for everyone to come out. But it was also just, and I'm not coming after anybody. I just want to just say that the citizens have been calling me because what they've asked me is about us as a council sitting up here, the 7 of us, and that how 2 of the council members is always saying no on paying the bills. I explained to them, I don't have the answer why they say no, but I know they say no every time to pay the bill. So therefore, they asked me, Alderman Evans, since those 2 always want to say no, maybe they don't want to get paid. I said, I don't know. I said, I have to ask them. But, I'm gonna ask them that question, but I'm not gonna ask them here on the floor. Because I feel it'll be inappropriate if I ask them on the floor. But I am gonna ask them, since they don't want to pay the bills, should they get paid? Since they don't want the city to pay the bills, right? I think that would be really appropriate, but I'm not gonna attack no one. I don't wanna attack nobody. I just wanna put it out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman January.
Yes, I know you're loving this, Mayor.
Mike,
No,
You just love it. I see you.
I'm not. I
Yes,
mean,
you are.
It's your,
It's okay.
it's council's, it's your
Listen,
opinion. I mean, it's
That's
your
fine.
decision.
It's their
So,
opinion.
It's your opinion.
However, they have been aware of this opinion for a long time. I've been on the council for almost 12 years. And this council knows the reason why I say no. Okay? Second of all, if you all citizens have a question, you need to call myself or Alderman Coleman. You don't need to call the other aldermen to get an answer because they don't obviously know. And that's amazing that they don't know when I've been on the council for 12 years working on this. There is a lot of corruption in this city that you guys are not aware of. Okay? And if you are aware of it, then you should know why I say no. So please, feel free to give me a call. In fact, let me give you my new cell phone number. And it'll be in the records so that you can call me directly and speak with me. And I'll give you a chance to get a pen and paper or your phone out. Alderman, you too, because I changed my number. 847-508-1799.
last one.
1799. If you got a question about anything I do up here, please call me directly. I might not be able to answer you right away, but I will be able to call you back when I have a moment. So, I don't have anything to hide. Never had anything to hide. Unlike some people who have criminal backgrounds sitting up on this council. Okay? So just keep that in mind as well. All right. Also, I would like to have Chief come forward if possible.
Chief, which chief?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Chief Perez. Now let's deal with some real issues. Over in the military housing where I live, there has been, and I brought to your attention earlier, that there has been a significant, and I am glad you're finding it funny, Mayor. It's okay.
That's all right.
There's been, some soliciting going on, and the military housing areas are clearly marked. No soliciting, no trespassing, the whole bit. I think they could do a little bit better with the signage, and maybe that's something we can discuss with the hunt group. But I have, from some of the constituents, and I wanted to read you right from their words, because they obviously have not called our police department.
Like you
And I have seen on the Facebook page that they are making fun of our police department, which I take offense to. Because I know you guys work hard out there. Let me find it again. Hold on, it just disappeared. Hold on, it's gonna take me a minute. Been a lot of postings since then. But in the last week and a half, there has been, some women going around soliciting to the different homes, even, twice in the same day, asking for money. Very brazen about asking for money, anywhere from $60 to more, claiming it's for, funding of, children. And they are not able to answer any of their questions as to who they are. So, trying to find, of course, now I can't find it.
I'll make our officers aware, but we have not received any complaints.
First of all, this is one of the signs that they show, if you want to step forward.
Yeah, I've seen them. I'm
You see
familiar
them?
with them. Yep.
Okay, so I think we do need bigger signs, right, posted as soon as you come in to any of the entrances. I don't see like a big sign posted, that might help.
That would
the
have
smaller
to come
ones-
through Hunt though, right?
Yeah, that would have to
Okay.
go through Hunt,
Okay.
but we're working with them
Right,
on
sure.
other issues that are going on, so, but I just wanted to make sure, here it goes. Just a heads up, there's multiple women who's going around the neighborhood soliciting cash, $60 for children's books. They also sharing inconsistent stories about DV, IVP, homelessness, family living in shelters, etc. In addition, one of the women is incredibly intoxicated. My house has been contacted twice within a span of hours by different people, one of which was posted earlier on someone's home cam. They said that they were circling back around on Saturday, but just wanted to let folks know. And I did send them a comment back saying that I was at work on Saturday, but when I come back, I'll make my rounds and see if I see anything. And I didn't see anything when I came back, so that's why I didn't call you. But I've asked these people to call, my constituents to call you, or call the police department and give a description, and obviously they haven't done that. But I wanted it to be on the record here that I did bring it up to you all so that we can keep maybe a little closer monitoring on the solicitation, because we also have, I've heard a ice cream truck go through our neighborhood in Forstall, which they're not supposed to. So there's a lot of things going on, and obviously we know of the criminal activity, which I think has been curbed.
Yep.
Or not, so, but I wanted to keep you guys abreast here in the department what's going on, and they are making fun of our department, and I'm really sorry for that. So.
Thank you, ma'am.
As I go around, I'll have talks. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Alderman Smith?
All right, I just want to go on the record to say awesome job, City of North Chicago. We had you go, Chief.
Oh, thank you.
When we had the tornado sirens going off, it's good to know that they were working. I really liked And if citizens are not on the alert call, you need to get on the alert call so you can get notified when there's emergencies in the city or warnings in the city, because if you don't know what the alarm is for, you just think the alarm is going off, and if you don't really know what it's for, but by getting that phone call saying this is what's going on, I think that was very positive for our city, and nothing happened in our city as far as the tornado touching down, but I just thought that was a good thing. I even had an event and I had to tell the people, look, we need to either shut this down or y'all need to get in the corner. You know, you're preparing the people because stuff may happen. We can't take it for granted. Or take it for granted what might or might not happen, but it was an awesome thing that nothing happened and our alarm system did work. I think we had a concern about that, wondering were they been tested or, but everything went off perfectly and the calls were good too.
We are every first Tuesday of the month, so
Yeah.
they're working.
Treasurer?
Yeah, I was just gonna state, for the record, that we don't actually, the city council doesn't vote on payroll. So the residents don't have to worry about that portion. I'll just say that.
Explain, they don't quite get that. I see question marks.
So you guys vote on city bills. There's no vote on the payroll. So that's not. They can't vote for both. That's all. That just was adding clarification.
No,
That's
no,
all.
what I was saying was, it didn't matter whether it was payroll or not.
Okay.
The thing is, I know we put on city bills, but
Mhm.
the bills, what I'm saying is, if you want to take that bill out, since you're saying no, you could take that bill out and say,
Okay.
here's city, I don't wanna get paid. Now, you can do that.
I just wanted
Right,
clarification.
I
That's
wanna
all.
be clear. Yeah, let's be clear on it.
Okay.
Whoever do not want to pay any of the city bills, you don't have to pay them. But one thing for sure, if you don't want to pay the city bills, don't pay yourself. That's the way I see it. And that's the way I tell those constituents. It's a decision. People say, well, I've been sitting up here for all these years and I keep saying no. Well, you don't want to pay nobody. You don't want to pay the light bill. You don't want to pay the employees. You don't want to pay nobody. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Now, I heard someone just say it was corruption up here.
Yes.
I would love to see what the corruption is.
I second that motion.
That's what I was gonna state, but anyway, we'll
I
wait.
just want to see what the corruption, because I don't want to feed these people just imagination of a corruption, because I don't think it's corruption up here. But if it could be pointed out, let it be pointed out. We all sitting up here.
Alderman January.
Mike.
Thank you. And I forgot to add this to my comments. Again, I'm not up here to get paid. I don't need the money. I have a full-time job that takes care of me very well in my household. So, as you all know, I'm a registered nurse. So I have to protect my license, no matter what I do. Okay? So I would not be up here doing anything inconsistent or wrong. Never have, never will. So again, I don't need the pay. I really don't. But again, we have to look at what's going on here. And there's things that are not said on the floor for reasons. We're not given the whole truth up here. Okay? So if we're not given the whole truth up here, neither are the citizens. So you're even getting less of the truth. All right, so I'm not here to play games. I'm here to protect the city of North Chicago and its citizens, and especially my ward, which is a heavily based military residents. So I have to talk to them too. And a lot of them are transient, so they don't have an interest because they're not here long enough to have that interest. But I do know that there are a few civilians that live in the military housing. So I'm not here for the money. If this position was not a volunteer position and didn't get a pay, I'd still do it. That's what y'all need to know about me. I'm not here for the money. I really am not. I'm here because I'm concerned. My husband's concerned. This is my husband's neighborhood that he grew up in. And he has run for mayor and is lost. Because we keep doing the same thing every voting. Same old thing. And his first election was stolen. Okay? So it does happen, and we know how it happened. So if you want more information about that, please feel free to call me as well. Okay? But again, I love the city of North Chicago. I'm not from here. I'm from Cook County, and I have grown to love this city so much that it hurts my heart to see certain things going on here. So get to know me better. Please call me. We can have a discussion. We can meet for lunch if you like. I don't have a problem. Of course. Of course. If you ever look at my bills, I don't have any because I utilize the money that's given to me by my pay to cover any ward meetings I might have or try to have. I don't use my money from the budget. I use what's given to me by the citizens. So that's why you never see money out of my account.
You don't do that.
So just, I try to do things germane and the correct way. So be there to support us and support the whole city council here. We have a tough job up here. So does the mayor. The mayor has a tough job too. I never want to disrespect the mayor. And I do my best to try not to. But when something comes up, I'm going to let y'all know as best I can. And that's what also Alderman Coleman is doing. He has already brought up some stuff. And he's not here tonight. So
He's never.
yeah. So that's Alderman Coleman. I can't speak for him. I can only speak for me. So that's what I wanted to add. Thank you for the time and thank you for listening.
All right, council, just to make you aware that on, July 1st is a Monday, I will be out of the office. I will be on vacation, so just to make you aware that I do get a vacation, I'm gonna try to take it. Alderman, I just wanted to say in regards to some of your comments, in regards to, as you say, corruption going on here, and I know Alderman Evans brought it up. That tells me that if there's corruption, that means there's some type of improprieties going on. And if that is the case, and over the years that you have been here, if that is why you're voting no, then let's, as you said, show us what's going on, because we want to be aware of it. I don't want the residents of North Chicago thinking that the city of North Chicago is corrupt. That's other communities that are on the TV that are I won't even name the name of the cities, but if we're so bad, please, there's attorneys, there's the state's attorney's office, there's areas that you could report these type of improprieties that are going on, whether it's finances, whether it's corruption as far as illegal purchases. Show us what's going on. Let us know. God knows that from what I can see from the position that I sit in, I do not see any. And I monitor my staff as closely as possible. I give them the latitude that they deserve, but I make sure that things that are going on and the purchases that they're making are germane and are brought here properly. Every council, when you get your bills, those are bills that are coming from our comptroller's office that are being purchased here in North Chicago. If we have to go out for bids, they're going out for bids properly. So please, if you know, when you make those type of statements, that's a negative on on our city. That goes out over our airwaves, that's in our records.
Mhm.
Now, if you're stating that, please show us where it's at. If you wish to, file charges, bring the charges. Bring the charges
Mayor,
on
are you
because
gonna-
we want to make sure
Mayor?
that things are done properly in this community, which over the 19 years I have served as mayor, I have made sure that this city has been doing everything it needs to do financially in a manner that is done correctly. So if that is the case, bring it and we will address it.
That's right.
Mayor, as long as you can guarantee me that there will be no repercussions against me.
What?
Oh,
Alderman-
there's been repercussions against
Alderman-
other aldermen. You tried to have my husband arrested and you tried to have me arrested. So don't go there. So until you can guarantee that I am safe from any kind of retaliation,
I guarantee you,
Then
if
we
it
will-
is, if
we
as
will
long
bring
as
forth-
it is not warranted, you will not be arrested.
oh, I don't know about that.
Mayor,
Alderman Smith.
I'd just like to go on the record to say, if you are aware of something that's going wrong in the city as an alderman, it is your duty
I have
to.
reported certain things.
Okay,
So
let-
it doesn't mean that I have to bring it to you all.
As I was saying, as an alderman, I feel as for the citizens, because that's who we represent, the citizens of the city of North Chicago. If you are aware of some things that are going wrong, it's your obligation to the citizens of North Chicago to bring it forward. That's it.
I'll bring it forward to the correct people who are not causing issues.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Mayor. Yes.
On a positive note, I do like to thank all of the department heads and those who were able to attend the first ward meeting this past Saturday. Again, I just have to say that I was very impressed. I believe when I was doing my checklist that it appeared that all of the department heads attended the meeting. And I was very impressed. The constituents were impressed. We have one individual who said that they've been living in the city of North Chicago for 22 years, and that's the first meeting that they've ever been to. So
excellent.
it was good. Again, I want to thank everyone that was able to attend, the elected officials. We also had an elected official from City of Waukegan pop in. We had state rep pop in. And we had the Lake County Sheriff was there also. So it was well attended. So hopefully I was told to do it again. So obviously it seems
Yes,
to,
Falls Park.
and Falls Park, sorry about that, Commish. Sorry, Commish. So, and the library. Well, library was part of yes, they're all part of the process. So I do want to take the time out to thank everyone. The weather was fair and fortunately it did rain as close as we got out. So, we did do well and it was light snacks. And, for my colleague over on the left of me, I would have to say at least 85% of the refreshments were bought in the city of North Chicago with the receipts. So I want to, again, and my wife and I discussed that, is if I can't support the city I live in, we got a problem. Some things we had to go out, so please forgive me, but the receipts say North Chicago, so money is spent there. So hopefully, we go there. I even buy my gas in North Chicago, so thank you all.
Thank you.
And Mayor, one more thing.
Alderman
And I
Smith.
just want to say awesome job, Alderman Jackson. And again, if you all have not seen or been by the substation on 10th Street, we're utilizing that and you need to stop by and take a look at it. It's really nice and it's growing and we're doing a lot of great things at the substation.
And to that point, again, I haven't checked with the chief, but hopefully somewhere down I see you hiding behind the battalion chief. Hopefully, as meetings go, that could be something that we can potentially open up if that is appropriate to our residents to either meet us there if you don't want to meet at our homes or meet at city hall or police station, that we can meet at the resource center. So we can somewhat keep, again, one thing I pride myself on is anonymity, okay? I don't get information from people when I go out and say that so-and-so said so-and-so. So anonymity becomes very important to all of us. So as much as we can keep you out of line of fire, but get information that you may have, is a benefit to all 7 of us up here. So it's like that old campaign, see something, say something, because we can't do it alone. We're not out there 24/7. I mean, obviously I ride up and down the streets, and when I do see something, I try and report it. Chief of Staff nodding his head, at ungodly hours and ungodly days. So, if you're a resident and you don't know how to get in touch with me, no, now don't be fronting there now. So you will know how to get in touch with me. So if you see me on the street, I get stopped a lot of times, and I'm sure my colleagues do get stopped a lot of times on the street. Say something. I get stopped at the grocery store. Hey, by the way, did you know this? No. But then I report it to where it needs to be reported to without putting your name out there. So that's a guarantee you have from me, and I'm sure for my fellow colleagues. I don't want to speak for them, but I'm sure that whatever information you're able to supply to make the community better. And as I said at the meeting, my theme is better North Chicago. Okay, and we can't be better if we don't get the assistance, and that you as a resident is a stakeholder in this too. As far as the taxes go, just like our residents, we pay taxes too. So when you get hit, we get hit. So don't think we're sitting up here and don't get the same tax rates or same tax hit as some. Fortunately, I haven't looked at my tax bill yet because my wife take care of that, but I'm sure I'll be shocked when I do look
Yeah.
at
Make
it.
sure you're
So,
sitting down.
thank you. Okay. Thank you all again for the opportunity to address the residents and my fellow colleagues and the department heads.
Thank you. Anything else? Lively conversation. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Been moved by,
Murphy.
Murphy, second by January, that the city council stand adjourned. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Sir, can we take 5 minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody, I'm gonna have to probably leave. I gotta head to Springfield tonight. I will be up on Zoom, for you as I travel, but I would like to just get on the road.
Yeah.
It's about a 3.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, so thank you very much, and I'm worried about the rain also, but I'll head out. But
Take
I
care.
will come up on Zoom.
All right. So let me give you time to get to the car and
Yeah, right.
you got the everything you need.
All right. Pick up my luggage and head on out. Thank you.
All right, at this time, the judiciary, I call the Judiciary Committee meeting to order. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Jackson.
Present.
Alderman Coleman, Alderman Evans,
Here.
Alderman Allen, Alderman Smith, Alderman Murphy, Alderman January.
Okay, we have 2 items, discussion and review of the ordinance amending Title II, Chapter 4, Section 3, Duties of Treasurer. And item 2, discussion review of ordinance amending Title 5, Chapter 33, moratorium on issuance of supplemental licensure for video gaming terminal operations. Council, I want to let you know that item 1 at this time is being pulled, so we will not do any discussion or do any action on item 1 at this time. Item 2, again, will be the discussion and review ordinance amending Title 5, Chapter 33, moratorium on issuance of supplemental licensure for video gaming terminal operations, and that'll be a presentation by Chief of Staff Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the council. In reviewing the number of gaming licenses and gaming terminals we have in the city, the staff is currently requesting a ordinance versus a resolution after a discussion with council on a moratorium for a defined period. There is no defined period in here, so that could be 6 months, that could be a year, on the issuance of any further gaming licenses for video terminals. We are on the cusp of, with the current licenses that are in the queue that have already been approved by the city council, at 199 terminals in the city. We are pretty well saturated. Staff would like the opportunity to evaluate the locations of those terminals. Also per capital ratio, things along those lines, putting together some statistics. I'm looking to my colleagues in other communities who have done a similar, asked their respective bodies to do a similar moratorium so we can pull as much data as possible. We hear constantly from the constituents, and I'm confident that many of the elected officials do as well, that there seems to be too much gaming in the community. We see the banners flying, we see slots, and we see video gaming. It's not to say that they're not, those organizations, those businesses are not making a meaningful financial contribution to the city, but we think North Chicago is better than that, and that we should take a look at the term. Now, what we are saying is those that have been approved and have been issued, nothing happens to those. We're not asking that any of them be repealed or anything along those lines. They continue to operate, but by attrition, should a business close its doors, that we would still refrain from issuing any further licenses for terminals until we're able to get some good data so that the body can make a decision on what is the right number, and more importantly, where should they be located? Where should they be located? Certainly, we want to see development on, we have visions for 41, especially with the TIF. We look at Green Bay, the opportunities on Green Bay. That's not to exclude Martin Luther King, 14th Street, as well as 10th Street. But I think we need to be more strategic in our approach on how we're placing and issuing gaming license. So what we're asking committee, Mr. Chair, is for us, the permission from the council and the committee, I'm sorry, to work with our city attorney to formalize an ordinance allowing for again, a defined period of time on the moratorium, allowing staff ample time to pull together as much quantifiable and qualitative data as we can so we can present it to the council for decision-making purposes.
Chief of Staff, just a quick question before I open to the rest of the council. In this moratorium, are you going to be able to find out how many licenses that we have given, but the people haven't followed up on opening their gaming?
Yes.
Will that be part of your package?
Yes.
Okay, I apologize. I didn't get a chance to read your memorandum, but I just wanted to ask for my own.
We'll be talking about liquor licenses, licenses issued for gaming, number of terminals per license that they've chosen to utilize with that license and be able to communicate all that data. We're going to do locations. It's going to be an in-depth study. So.
Okay, thank you. Alderman January.
Yes, thank you. How long do you feel that it would take your staff to do this type of a study? Their data.
It will certainly, I will spearhead the study just because of other functions. I anticipate the economic development director as well as the comptroller to work with me on aggregating data and mining for data. I would ask the council for a year on the moratorium, recognizing that moratorium, and perhaps it can be worded by city attorney, that if we're able to present the data in a much faster rate, that it would allow the council to turn around and adjust that moratorium down if the council felt appropriate.
Well, yeah, I would want you to go out what you feel you expect you need, and if it comes in sooner, great. You know.
I'd rather, to your point, Alderman January, I would rather have more time to make sure the data is thorough.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than to be rushing against the clock and bringing data that may be a little bit, so I want the data to be strong because the decision has gonna have far-ranging impacts on the community for certain.
And then the other thing is, I'd like to also be kept abreast because I am the chair for the license, building and license. So obviously this all, does follow under the mayor with the liquor commissioner and all of that. But I do want to keep abreast as well as to the progress and what's
Certainly.
going on. And if you have any questions that I may be able to help with, please feel free to reach out to me and let me know. okay?
Absolutely.
The other thing is, and I believe you did allude to this, that not only are you gonna be looking at the video gaming license, but you're also gonna look at the liquor licenses as well.
The liquor licenses that accompany the gaming licenses as well. Not a separate study of the number of liquor licenses. Certainly after we get done with this project, if that's something the council would be interested in, we could certainly explore and pull that data as well and
Yeah.
discussion and comparables to other communities based on pour licenses, banquet facilities, whatever it may be, catering licenses.
Yeah, that would be appreciative, because this, as I've been sitting here, and of course, the previous alderman that sat here was, my husband, Charles January. We've always been feeling we're too saturated with too many liquor stores, liquor everywhere, gaming everywhere now. My husband, I know, worked with Alderman Allen when this all first started with the gaming and stuff, and we appreciate that, but I think we're way too saturated for our 2x3 town. And I've always felt that way, and I've always, made it clear that, while I may vote yes for some things, it's because they've already been established at that address, and it's a new ownership. But moving forward, I just feel like we're just saturating too much and it's hurting us economically. And we heard the people that have been doing our comprehensive plan, they came in and said the same thing to us, that we're too saturated with liquor and gaming, that it's harming our economic growth. So
I
I'm
think
glad that we're looking at this. And I just wish we had done this years ago. So I appreciate you so much for being forward and bringing this, but I also would like to see one done after we get this one done with the liquor side.
Yes, ma'am. And that's why I think the attrition portion of this is important, because we've had businesses that have been good community partners and are good businesses in the community that do everything above board. And to just outright penalize them would certainly be inappropriate after it's been approved by the council. And it's our hope, and Taylor and I've had discussions about where we want to see and where we believe the council wants to see the economic development go. And it is our hope that for a company or a business to leave that may have had gaming, that it's replaced with perhaps a grocery store, perhaps a clothing store, other retailers that aren't gaming dependent. And that's, is it going to happen all the time? No, but it's something we aspire to achieve.
Thank you.
Alderman, are you good, Alderman?
I'm good,
Okay.
thank you.
Alderman Evans. had his hand up
Since
earlier.
we're talking about gaming, chief, I noticed that on a lot of establishments, we have a lot of fluorescent lights with this gaming situation. Should we do away with all those fluorescent lights and come up with something else?
I believe, and without looking at a particular business, but taking that concept that you're presenting, Alderman, I think that Taylor and I would embrace, and I say Taylor because now he's got his hands full, he's got a lot of things going on because we're trying to make progress.
Absolutely.
I think we need to take take a strong look at how we present ourselves to visitors and our own members of our community,
Correct.
including 52 different flags that are flopping around the community that detract from the appearance of buildings, detract from other businesses.
Right.
We are absolutely positively invested into taking a look and curbing what may be a unattractive appearance.
Okay, great. And speaking of the gaming, I do know I'm familiar with a lot of the establishments, because I go into a lot of them that do gaming machines. And one things that I've noticed, that don't mean I'm playing them, cause I'm definitely, I heard you. But one thing I have noticed about those machines is that they are full. They are full. Each establishment I go to, from the 3rd ward, 5th ward, whatever ward they're in, throughout the city, I've noticed that they are full. And I noticed that I see several people in there, that some people, they there for probably the same reason I'm there, or may not. But I find it very attractive to people not to leave within the city. It's something that they have right here in the city. A lot of the people, they do it for different reasons, you know, and I know we're partnered with Waukegan as far as the
Casino.
American Casino route. And I know we do get a established, piece of that money also. But for our city, I know it is, as Alderman January, stated, there is too many right here in our city. So there is a point that we do need to just stop giving these people license. I think we got enough already.
Yeah, I would agree,
That's what
Alderman
I'm
Evans.
saying. We have enough.
I think, our position at staff is, to promote a healthy economy. And, it's not ours to judge if gaming is something somebody should do or shouldn't do. That's certainly an individual's choice. It's legal. They're certainly allowed to do that. I don't game because my wife doesn't give me money. But we just want to see what's the right number. What's the right number when we compare ourselves to the number of businesses in Waukegan, and we can break that down by ratio. You know, we're not gonna say apples to apples because it's not. We'll look at different formulas to find a mean, an average that's acceptable for ourselves.
Yeah, go ahead.
Alderman Smith?
All right, we're talking about the trucking stop coming. So is that gonna affect them? Cause I'm sure they would want some gaming that's there.
It will. We'll put the moratorium on if the council wants to look at something individually, unless the city attorney tells me otherwise. But I think that's something that needs to be discussed. I certainly would say that if it's going to take a year for Compass to finally open their doors, by the time they break ground, build the building and everything, we may be done before then and it may be moot. If we keep waiting for the next business, I think that, will we ever get there? If we turn around and tell Compass that, let's see what the timing is on this, we're not saying no to gaming. What we're saying is we're putting a pause. We're just taking a pause right now.
And the reason why I asked that, because I'm sure, well, not sure, I'm assuming and believe that that is a part of their thinking, being a truck stop, having the gamings there. And I would hate for us to be not delusional, but to give a false presentation.
Yeah, we don't want to misrepresent ourselves to a potential business that's coming in. It gives us no credibility, to your point, Alderman. So we don't want to do that. I will converse with legal counsel and see what our best approach is on it. But I would turn around and say, there'll always be another business coming in the door, and we don't want to turn around and just continue to wait and wait and wait. Certainly, Compass has already been here. They've already given us drawings. We've already sat in meetings. The gaming is there. I mean, it's visible on how they have their floors laid out. So yes, it could be a potential misrepresentation that they thought gaming was going to be here. I'll speak with David and Taylor and see what position that puts us in.
Thank you.
Any businesses coming in the door now,
Yeah.
subsequent to that right now, will need to know that right now there's a moratorium on gaming so they can make their business decisions based on that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Alderman January?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, that's a good point. But I do believe by letting any business that's like been working with us, we need to let them know, legally, I'm sure our attorney agrees, that we need to let them know that we have put a moratorium in place. And we'll keep them abreast as the city council moves forward through this discussion and seeing where we're at in the city with this. I think is important, especially even with the liquor as well.
Yep.
You know, just, that's fine for them to sell it. But again, to have in the open pour and the gaming, you know, that's a whole nother avenue, so.
In order for us to be
I think we'll
successful.
be fine.
Yeah, in order for
I
us to
think
be
we will,
successful with
to
economic,
be honest.
yeah, in order for us to be successful with economic development, our credibility's got to be above reproach.
Yeah. Honest and transparent.
Yep.
So is always the best way. And then also, my question was, with this study also, will you be providing us with, like a year or a couple of years, what the revenue looks like?
So,
And
yeah.
where we thought the revenue was supposed to be?
Yeah, we can,
I would like to see that as well.
we can look at revenue dollars, we can look at trends, we could look at number of,
It's
Yeah.
already a part of the treasurer's report.
yeah.
Okay,
So if you look under the sales taxes received, it's video gaming tax disbursements.
okay.
So as of March, it was $408,000. So
Just from just the gaming in the
that's video
city.
gaming, yes,
Okay.
only, video gaming only. That's not including the casino.
Right, and we'll be able to turn around and give a sense of by how many machines we're making how much money, so.
Okay, awesome. That would be wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good
Thank you,
question.
Chief.
Mayor, I believe you had a question. We see you.
yes,
driving. Hand up.
Yes. So, yeah, just real quick, you know, one of the reasons we're bringing this forward is, and I might have missed it through Greg's presentation, is that you know, through our comprehensive plan that we are moving forward with, is one of the things they stated is that, you know, again, you know, video gaming and liquor it has kind of saturated our community, and that we do need to look at that and see, you know, if that's something, you know, that we need to like said, put a moratorium on. But also I think with Compass and again, I would check with legal. I don't know if they have to come to council if they're within a certain size of a truck stop. Wasn't that something with gaming that if you're within what is it, so many acres that, you know, you're allowed to have gaming. So I don't know if that's going to really be a issue or not, but again, you know, if we're going to do it, that's something we need to be aware of. So thank you, guys.
No, because it's still something we need to look at. Still open.
And Mr. Chairman, I just want to restate for the public that may be watching now or the public that may be viewing this once it's posted, is that it is not it's not staff's recommendation to do anything with anything that's already been issued, even if the terminals are not turned on at this point in time. Those things have been granted by the council and the council deemed it was appropriate, so it's not our intent to compromise anything that's been approved already.
Okay, good thing. I know somebody that would be concerned about that. So it won't be affected. Okay.
So if we're okay, Mr. Chairman, if we could, if I can go ahead and advance this to our legal counsel and then get something for June 17th, the meeting June 17th.
Yeah, I
For a
believe
first look.
no one has any objection per se. I would think, okay, I would think we'll move this forward to the next official council meeting for consideration and approval. All right, okay.
Thank you.
All right, let's see, that is it. By the way, I do want to take a step back because I guess what some concerns are, and just for the record, is that with number one item is being pulled because the sponsor is not here. And I don't think it would be a benefit to continue if the person who's sponsoring this piece of legislation isn't here to talk about it and or defend it and or be here in case other councilmen have questions, because I truly don't know what his thoughts are other than what I see. So that's why I'm pulling it until, for now. And we'll just go from there. So thank you for that. And let's see, before I call for a motion adjourn. I want to say a happy belated birthday to Treasurer Wyatt, who was obviously enjoying his birthday this past weekend. So, yeah, so, all righty. Yeah, he thinks it's nice to see a young man that continues in this process. So at that point, or at this point, I'd like to call for a motion to adjourn Judiciary Committee meeting.
So move.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderman Murphy to adjourn the Judiciary Committee meeting. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Jackson,
Aye.
Alderman Evans. Alderman Allen. Alderman Smith,
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman January.
Aye.
Okay, at this time, the Judiciary Committee meeting stands adjourned. Thank you all.
Okay, I'd like to open up the Building License Committee meeting. Roll call, please.
Alderman Jackson,
Present.
Alderman Coleman, Alderman Evans,
Here.
Alderman Allen, Alderman Smith,
Present.
Alderman Murphy.
Present.
Alderman January.
Present. I have a 3-line item agenda. The first one is discussion of a special event with Mosaic Summer Kickoff. The second one is discussion of another special event, 3-day festival, Juneteenth, Lake County, and then pending matters. So the first one is discussion of a special event with Mosaic House. It's their summer kickoff for Saturday, June 8th, from 1 to 4 p.m. at 1645 Lincoln Street. We have their application in our packet. I hope everybody had a chance to look at that. Are there any questions at all? It's a free event. And it looks like they are they looking for some help from our police department? No? Okay. All right, very good. Any questions? All right, well, hopefully those that can attend will be able to. Looks like it'll be a good event. Again, that's the Mosaic House Ministries Summer Kickoff, Saturday, June 8th, 2024, from 1 to 4 p.m. and it's at 1645 Lincoln Street. All right, the second one is discussion of special event, 3-day festival for Juneteenth, Lake County. Is this the same? Yeah. This is under the organization of Greater Waukegan Development Coalition. And like it said, it'll be a 3-day event. It will be hosted at the 1901 Foss Park Avenue here in North Chicago. It's a free event. I guess there is for the concert portion, $20 for the concert. There will be animals present, 6 ponies, 12 small something animals, I guess, in a like a petting zoo. So, okay. And it'll be Friday, June 14th from 5 to 9 p.m. It'll be Saturday, June 15th from 12 to 11 p.m. and Sunday, June 16th from 12 to 9 p.m. as well. Again, that's going to be at the Foss Park Avenue. I see everything's looking good here. Did they also need police help? They do not. They have. Oh, security. Perfect. Thank you. Wow. Okay. Okay. I know we have some commissioners here. Can any of you want to step up and speak about the Juneteenth?
Oh, see, you stole my thunder.
Sure. So, essentially, we're partnering with Greater Waukegan Development or Greater Waukegan Development Coalition this year for Juneteenth here. This is a plan to be an annual event similar to what we have for our Caribbean Fest. So yeah, I think the reason that needed to go through the city this time is because there are certain things that were being added that are not normal for us. Normally it falls under the park, just we're able to do it on our own. So that's what that's why it's before you guys tonight. So I don't have anything specifically. I don't know if the chief has anything to add or whatnot.
That answered my one question, why
Yeah.
it's coming through us. So thank you.
No problem.
Did you want to say anything? No? Okay. Any, speechless? Anything from council, any questions or concerns? Okay, hearing none, moving on to pending matters. Also just want to say is please keep in mind, I know everyone has been so gracious and understanding and patient with the fact of my husband and his illness. He's doing a lot better. He's actually getting around more. He's doing more. He's actually cooking. He's actually doing dishes and taking trash out and, yep, the honey-do list is back. So, but it's taking time.
It's physical therapy.
It is, which has been thankful because he's worked well with the PT and OT that's been coming to our home to get him to get to this level at least. So, I'm back. I'm available. So under, anything with the buildings of the city of North Chicago or licenses, anything with that, please feel free to send memos to me, contact me. Chief, you guys, I gave out my new phone number. Feel free to call me and let me know if you need me for anything. Or if you need to put something on the agenda, I'm back again, okay? So I appreciate you kind of everybody helping out with that, but I can take care of what we need to under building and license at this point, okay? All right, any other pending matters? Anything else under building license? Okay, thank you. I'd like to have a motion then to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
So moved by Alderman Jackson and then seconded by Alderman Smith. Roll call, please.
Alderman Jackson,
Aye.
Alderman Evans,
Aye.
Alderman Smith,
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman January.
Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you so much.
I'd like to open up Economic Development Planning and Zoning Committee. Roll call.
Alderman Jackson,
Present.
Alderman Evans,
Here.
Alderman Smith,
Present.
Alderman Murphy,
Present.
Alderman January.
We have one item on the agenda, discussion of potential surplus real estate. Take it away, Taylor.
All right, thank you. This evening, we'd like to present to you the two properties for discussion to declare surplus property. These are city-owned properties, 1421 Rankin, and then 0 Dugdale, 0 Kennedy, and 0 Barrett. Those last three are all a single contiguous piece of property that the city owns. A few weeks ago, you heard a kind of a concept presentation by Youth Build concerning some future development plans for a new educational facility and kind of warehouse facility for them to do their conduct their activities. But that was proposed for the kind of balance of the public works site. They're kind of to the east of the existing facility off of Rankin. That's shown in red on the right-hand side of the map up there on the screen, labeled 1421 Rankin. That's the area that was discussed by Youth Build a few weeks ago, as well as another part of that proposal tonight to declare surplus is the other red outline there. 0 Kennedy was roughly the area that Youth Build was looking at for a townhome type of facility as part of their development proposal. But regardless, the city owns that entire area outlined in red on both of those maps. And those are the two areas we would like to discuss for declaring surplus property of the cities so that we can pursue the mechanisms to dispose of those properties. We've done an internal department review and determined that there are no outstanding comments or needs with these properties, and we see no need to keep them under city ownership and could return them to the public. So any comments or questions?
Yes.
Do we, thank you for getting. Do we have a need for a public hearing when we go to like, say, okay, these properties are,
Depends on which mechanism we use to dispose of the properties. The city code outlines a couple different mechanisms that can be utilized: an auction method, a public interest method, or an appraisal method. And so that's still to be determined, but at this point, we'd like to take the first step in declaring these properties surplus. But yes, there would be that kind of transparency throughout the
Okay.
process.
and then I know you're saying that Youth Build is looking at one or both?
Their proposal that they presented the other day includes both, but only a portion of that western piece, a small portion of that western piece. If you were to look at the map on the screen, Zero Kennedy is even bigger than what they were proposing as far as the portion of land that they were looking at, so.
Okay. Now, are they looking to like move their current facility from that school there off of Green Bay?
Yes, that is correct. Their
Okay.
lease is anticipated to expire and they're looking to construct a new facility.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Any more questions? Thank you, Taylor. I get a motion to close Economic Development Planning and Zoning Committee.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Jackson, second by Alderman Murphy. Roll call.
Alderman Jackson.
Aye.
Alderman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Smith.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman January.
Aye.
All right, we are closed. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to open up the Public Works Committee meeting. Roll call.
Alderman Jackson.
Present.
Alderman Coleman, Alderman Evans.
Here.
Alderman Allen, Alderman Smith.
Present.
Alderman Murphy.
Present.
Alderman January.
Present.
We got two items on our agenda. Discussion, review of the fiscal year 2025 MFT maintenance resolution in the amount of $1,801,750. And item two is the discussion of Trotter and Associates, Inc. maintenance engineering agreement in the amount not to exceed $176,750 for the fiscal year 2025 MFT road program. We're gonna have Steve begin.
Good evening, everyone. In front of you is on the standard IDOT forms is the resolution for maintenance, which is just that. It's the maintenance work that we do for the roads coming up. Also attached to that is what we call the estimate of maintenance costs. And if you open that up, you'll see in there that we have the road salt, electrical billing, aggregate for patching, HMA, concrete, cold patch emulsions, and then finally the annual road program project, which is listed as 2024 street resurfacing. We have our overall dollar amount, which is 1.25 million again this year. And then the form further breaks down what the costs are going to be for that. And if you have any questions.
Any questions? No?
It's almost identical every year.
Yes.
The next item on there is the maintenance engineering agreement for Trotter and Associates. We prepare all the, here again, it's on the standard IDOT form, very one-page form. And it's for us to perform the maintenance engineering for the $1.25 million road program. We get a 5% fee for the preliminary engineering and then 6% for the engineering inspection work. If you have any questions on that.
Any questions?
Any way you can bring that down just a little? Just a little.
Unfortunately, costs keep going up.
No, but just a little. You've been with us for so long. You know, it doesn't hurt to ask. I have to ask, you know. Thank
You do receive 10% discount on our rates,
Okay,
believe it or not, so,
okay.
Yep.
which
All
we
right.
show every month.
There we go. Thank you,
If
Steve.
that's okay, I would like both of these to be advanced to the next council.
Yes, Gloria put them on.
Thank you.
All right. At this time, I'd like to close the Public Works Committee meeting? So moved.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Smith, second by Alderman January. Roll call?
Alderman Jackson,
Aye.
Alderman Allen, sorry, Alderman Evans,
Aye.
sorry. Alderman Smith,
Aye.
Alderman Murphy,
Aye.
Alderman January.
Aye.
Public Works Committee meeting is closed.
You ready?
Mhm.
Okay, at this time, we'll call the Public Safety Committee meeting to order. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Jackson,
Present.
Alderman Coleman, Alderman Evans,
Here.
Alderman Allen, Alderman Smith,
Present.
Alderman Murphy,
Present.
Alderman January.
Present.
Okay, at this time, we have one item of discussion, and it's the discussion review of the intergovernmental agreement to consolidate with Lakecom and the dissolution of cities agreement with Mundelein, North Chicago, and Winthrop Harbor PSAP. Presentation will be done by both chiefs, Chief of Staff and Police Chief Lazaro. Come on there, Perez. Get it on.
As you guys know, about 5 years ago, we had the first part of this presentation, being that we consolidated with Mundelein. And the idea was that county was working on a larger consolidation effort. As of today, 8 of the 10 PSAPs or dispatch centers operating in Lake County have agreed to dissolve. I placed a letter from Mundelein that we received late Friday on your desks. And it is their intent to close down the dispatch center once Lakecom becomes operational. So we, neither us nor the fire department will have a place to be dispatched from. So if the city of North Chicago intends to consolidate with Lakecom and form a board, there's 2 things that we need to do. First, we need to establish the Lake County Consolidated Emergency Communications Center. And then we have to join the Emergency Telephone and Systems Board, their ETSB, as part of Lake County. Meaning, right now, we're part of the Central Lake County Dispatch Center, and our ETSB funds go to the city of Mundelein. They hold them in a special account for North Chicago. And we use part of those funds to lower our cost of what the city actually pays out of pocket for dispatch services. Now, moving forward, if you guys elect to join Lakecom, those funds will then go to Lakecom. They will administer them. They have a formula where they will use some of those funds to also lower our dispatch costs. The dispatch costs as they stand today are a little bit higher than what we're paying this year. Not significantly, but they are a little bit higher than what we're paying this year. But the last time we went out for dispatch services, I think the cheapest one, well, Mundelein was one of the cheapest ones. But the sheriff's office wanted about $1.3 million to dispatch for us, and that was 5 years back. And I think, what's the other one? Not Gurnee, but Glenview was not interested in supplying dispatch services for us. So basically, if everything else closes down, and we actually went to Waukegan as well. Waukegan will keep their dispatch service open, or the dispatch center open. However, they don't have the capacity to take on anybody else other than the city of Waukegan. So I'm looking for guidance from the committee to see if this is something the city wants to do. If it is, we need to move it to council and vote on it.
Let me interject real quick. Just a question I got. So if we did not go with Lakecom, what would be our second?
We have to go out and see who else is available. If anybody wants us. And basically the only other game in town will be Glenview. The sheriff's office, as you know or may know, are undecided as to whether or not they're gonna be part of the consolidation effort. I think ultimately they will be, but it's not my decision to make. I'm not the elected sheriff of Lake County. So I think, I do believe that ultimately they will be, and that could have an impact on the way down, on our costs as well.
All right, at this point, Alderman January.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Wow. We knew this day was coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's coming kind of quicker, I think, than we thought. My question is, at this point, we've had difficulties with Mundaline and dispatching for our city.
Well, we had difficulties, in all fairness to Mundaline, we had difficulties when our dispatchers were dispatching for our city.
Mhm.
I think Mundaline's done actually a better job dispatching for us than our
That's not
former
what I'm
dispatch
hearing out
center.
there. They're not getting answered. The 911 calls are not answered always. There's been issues. Let's
I'm not,
be
I'm,
real. Let's
I'm not
be
saying
real.
there's
been
not.
issues.
And
But-
I expect that, especially a new consolidated center, when we go to county, if that's what you guys would like to do, we'll have some hiccups too.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have hiccups no matter what we do
Right.
at this point. But 5 years later, those hiccups were still happening. We were still having some issues. And I only know because I'm in the community. I am a home health nurse. And I do hear what
Right.
is said about, and it's not about our personnel. It's about the fact that
Right.
they're not even getting through to get an answer. So that's on Mundaline. I don't care who the dispatcher was. It's Mundaline. So with that said though, and they're dissolving theirs to go with the Lake Com. First of all, are we gonna take a hit financially with this transfer?
There is gonna be some up costs.
Okay. I don't know if you have like an idea or a guess, but
The number is gonna roughly be over a 5-year period, $40,000 additional a year, up to 200,000, a little bit over $200,000 on the police side, $14,000 a year roughly for 5 consecutive years for the fire department. When they put this together, there was battle fought on the formula on how this was gonna take place. And it was a discussion of EAV, it was a discussion of call volume, it was discussion of population, number of sworn personnel. They finally came to a formula that let EAV be the factor versus call volume. It took us all the way to the end, to last week, conversations I was having with the county administrator and her staff, as well as my counterparts in other communities, Winthrop Harbor, Round Lake Park, other community, Newport Fire District, who were saying they wanted it to be on call volume, which would have shifted substantially to us. Because if we look at it, it's the sheriff's department and Waukegan, the 2 biggest call volumes, followed by Mundaline, North Chicago, and Zion. We would have certainly hit it. And when you talk about communities that don't have a Kildare or a Hawthorne Woods EAB, who were opponents to the EAB section, it would have been a substantial hit. Out of the box, when Chief Perez and when I first arrived here and they made me aware of it, and let me assure you of this, the communication between the county has been ongoing without hesitation. They've been transparent. Any questions we've had, at one point, the deputy county administrator came here to sit with us and answer any questions. There was talk of it being $500,000, if not more, for this move. And it ended up being only $40,000 on the police side and about 14 on the fire side on an annual basis.
okay.
And they called that smoothing. What they did was, here's the costs. Here was the offset by the 911 funds that we would receive. Based on the formula, this is how we smooth the number out.
And then what's the perspectives, and Chairman too, I'd like to hear your thoughts. this perspectives of us bringing back our own dispatch.
At the time, well,
I mean, because if
Sure.
Waukegan is not going with this consolidation, why do we have to go with the consolidation? We're a smaller town, yes, we have a lot going on here, and that's why we have such a large force.
sure.
But
If the board has, yeah, if the board has about $3.5 million, I can build up my new dispatch center with, and then about $1.3 million a year to staff it. Sure, we can do that.
On a public administration side, just one thing I want to share with the council is when communities turn around and say, we're going to get rid of our fire department and we're going to outsource it, or we're going to turn around and get rid of public works and outsource it. Once you do that, it becomes a point where it's almost cost prohibitive to turn around and bring
Bring 'em back.
everybody back and start over. And that's the factor here, back to the decision-making when North Chicago went to Mundelein, I was at Winthrop Harbor at the time.
Well, this is
Also, I
cost us a
think,
lot too.
yeah, also, I
mean,
think,
it's-
I think the state has moved, and David, maybe I'm wrong on this, but they have moved not only to 25,000, but now you need 35,000 people to be in a PSAP, to have your own PSAP, your own dispatch center.
Mhm.
And we don't meet that threshold.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
So we'll be in a.
Yeah, we don't.
We'll be in a consolidated state no matter where we
You
go.
can't include the military. so,
No.
Yeah, we're far
Look at
from.
our stats, our census and,
Yeah.
that came
Yeah,
out.
we
would
lost
be-
a lot with the census, yeah.
Would be behind.
Chief,
the ball.
Chief Umack, Chief Lund, and Chief Perez really did their work on this one. They did a yeoman's job on getting as much information, and then at the end was battling out the numbers to make sure we weren't gonna get shortchanged.
So are they absorbing, will the Lake Com absorb all of these dispatchers that are from the different communities?
And then some. They're gonna need about anywhere from 112 to 140 dispatchers, which is a little bit more than what the
Yeah, they
dispatch
do.
centers have currently.
I'm sure they've got a building.
They do, so,
It's big work.
so county actually took out a bond for $50 million to build what they call the Rock. And it's a building that's gonna be shared actually with your office, correct? Emergency management? Are you guys, are you guys,
It's.
it'll be
going to
housing.
Emergency management, public health, and homeland security.
Okay.
Wow, that's a big building.
It is a bit,
Oh,
well,
it's
it's
a big
50,
building.
it's
You got-
50,
Gotta come
it's
from
$50
all
million.
Yes,
And they're also,
Okay.
they're also equipping it with, state-of-the-art consoles.
Yes.
And the thought behind going to a countywide consolidated system too is, number one, you're saving on costs because you only have one supervisor, one
Mhm.
person running the show versus having, right now, there's 10 different PSAPs, so now you have 10 different executive directors. So economy of scale comes into play there, and also call transfer. Now, we are in a kind of a unique situation here because the military housing bounces out to Norfolk.
Yes.
But the rest of the county, instead of bouncing from, let's say you're on your cell phone and you're going through several towns and you're bouncing around, it'll go to one point center.
Okay.
It'll go to county.
Okay. And then you can tell them.
And then you can tell them what's going on, where you're at, and then the call taker will route that call to the proper dispatcher who will send the call out.
So, forgot what my question, there was one more question in that scenario. Well, it sounds good. I just hope that if whatever we choose to move forward with, that we try to keep these hiccups, as we want to call them, down to a minimum. And I hope that our residents get the service that they deserve. Because it is an area that is heavily with issues and a lot of elderly. And I'm concerned that, and I know from when we talked,
Right.
our issues of, and it was. the
Not
same
being able
issues,
to bounce
not
out.
Getting able to get a dispatched police officer to us was concerning. So hopefully that'll all be, the kinks will all worked out from that lesson as well. So,
Yes, ma'am.
and knowing who, where, what, and when. So, all right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
I believe Mayor has his hand up. He has a question. Hopefully he's not.
Yes, I just want to, thank you, Chair. Just to let you know, yeah, as this rolls out, yeah, as, Chief of Staff mentioned is that, at the time, there was communities that wanted to do it at call volume instead of, population. And I know I went to, the county board to lobby and to make sure that we stayed at the population and not call volume so that our costs would continue to stay down. But also as we move forward and if we do go into this 911 as we are one of the first to be on board, we will also have a seat at the table. So as other communities may wish to come on board, we will be one of the communities already there established to either vote them in or out. So just another opportunity that we would have to just make sure that we're having a seat at the table and to as votes do come up.
Okay. Is that it, Mayor, or anybody else?
Alderman.
Alderman Smith.
Are we gonna have a committee, reaching out to other communities to be a part of this? I mean, it's good that we're gonna have a seat there and we'll have, we'll be on the first, but are we gonna have someone to try to bring on other cities / is there a number of?
Alderman, this has been in the works for,
Yeah.
I think even before we consolidated with Mundaline. And once a month, all of the communities that wanted to be involved there were two different boards formed. One was an executive committee, which was a manager or a mayor of a town. And the other one was an operations committee. Actually, John Umek and I sat on opposite boards. So everybody who wants to come in is already in. And it's meant to service Lake County. Actually, when I was with West Chicago, we dissolved our own dispatch center for similar reasons that we had here. And we ended up going with DUCOM, and actually Lakecom is following the DUCOM model, if you will. It'll be run by a governance board instead of by the county. The county doesn't want to run it. They're like, it's a governance board, so the members will run the actual operation of the.
And there are 19 members, 19 founding members, which we're one of them.
Okay, thank you.
So now, it's my understanding, it's basically, we're talking for at least a minimum of 5 years of spending $54,000 a year.
Dollars a year more, yes.
More.
Yep. Now, if we went anywhere, and I'll tell you what our initial numbers going to Lakecom are gonna be, and that was $1.2 million. I was told budget between $1.1 million and $1.2 million before they came up with this formula a year. Right.
Do we expect that to go up based on the way everything is, or if other people decide to pull out of this Lakecom? Do we foresee?
I think it's gonna be stable for the next 5 years. After that, I'm hoping that we take on other memberships that will hopefully lower the cost. But as you know, the cost of labor every year goes up.
Yeah, especially with salaries and
Right.
things of that, which is.
And technology.
Yes. So can either of you tell me right now, I mean, I didn't see it, or if I did, I missed it. What do we get back for the 911 system funding wise?
From the ETSB, you're talking about surcharge funds?
Yeah.
We get about $200,000 a year. And that's all worked out depending on your population.
And that's, the rest is on us, is that?
The rest is on us, correct.
Okay. Anyone else would, obviously I got some homework I want to redo, but, anybody else, any questions?
If anybody wants to, there's 505-page proposal. that,
You can read. I did. I did it.
yeah, we went through it. So if you wanna
That's
kind
why
of-
you get a police intern.
That's why I'm blind, sir.
Get an intern to do that and do synopsis.
As well as bylaws we've had too. as well.
But, so I guess my looking at it, and maybe, obviously, I probably won't vote on it, but, for reasons known, but, do you two feel this would be the best
I do.
avenue?
And actually, that's what
And does Chief Umack feel this would be the best avenue for, I'm just putting it out there as a
Yep.
question. I mean, obviously, the seven of us vote, but I just want to have an assurance that if you two or three, because you're the bodies that are bringing this, feel that this is the best avenue for the city of North Chicago to take.
I look for a reason not to.
Okay.
we went back and forth, I think, over several sessions. And right now, this is the most viable
Okay. And cost effective.
and cost effective,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Unless you want to spend 2-3 times the amount, yes.
Well, I don't think we have it if we're
Right.
getting 200,000 from ETSB and, but, all right, is there any other questions for any other alderman? No? Well, all right, we're good with putting this, onto the next, council meeting for, consideration and approval? Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, and if any of the aldermen have any questions, can I get in touch with either one of you?
Yep.
Offline? You're good with that? Okay, or,
Absolutely.
when's your deadline for the offline? I guess as soon as possible.
Well, it's gonna go before the council on the
So-
17th in order for us to be founding
So
members.
you
with
just
our
want to
seat
get
at
it
the
before
table.
then.
So the
So
next-
so I would recommend if you got any questions offline that, that's not been covered, that you get in touch with the chiefs, and they'll go from there. But, yes, sir. You got to put that so that's good.
Can you hear us now?
No.
Kingston,
Neely.
Kingston Neely and I spoke in the parking lot today. He has youth build children or partners, youth build youth that are available 17th and 18th that they're going to deploy in the various wards he would like to. If you have a senior in need, somebody that has a disability that may need shrubbery taken care of or little odds and ends around the house, that they can be of assistance with. He's asking that the alderman contact him so he can put the schedules together. So that's his mission, right now. And I thought it might be, as he did, but it's a great idea to, give back to people in the community during summertime when some work needs to be done.
Grass cutting, when they have lawnmowers, their own, people have to have it themselves.
I can't answer that. I didn't have that conversation with them, Alderman.
All right, is there any other alderman? Thank you, for that information. I'll definitely, look at keeping that out for some of the seniors. So at this time, I'd like to, request a motion to adjourn the Public Safety Committee meeting. Moved by Alderman January, seconded by Alderman Smith to adjourn the Public Safety Committee meeting. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Jackson.
Aye.
Alderman Evans, Alderman Smith, Alderman Murphy, Alderman January.
All right, the Public Safety Committee meeting stands adjourned. Take care. Mayor, have safe travels there in Springfield, and we'll see you when you get back.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. Yeah, but just hit I-55, so 2.5 hours.